Hello everybody, hello. Welcome to Mondays with Maja, Monday 8 p.m. I'm here every Monday talking about all the sociological topics that I am curious about and that I'm super interested in. Hello, Crystal, terminal renter. Hello. Welcome everybody, Mondays with Maja. Hello. Career Pump, that's kind of cool. Career Pump, I like that name. Hello. Hello everybody, welcome to Mondays with Maja. Today is sort of going to be a different talk because I was supposed to talk about male allies today, but my whole world got messed up this afternoon in a good way when we got an email today from TED Ideas. TED Ideas from the official TED Talk wrote an article about my TEDx talk, and they said that they had chosen my talk as one of those talks that how did they frame it, Steve? What was the email? Something about you're looking at an idea in a different way. We're looking at apologies in a different way. So they wrote an entire article about me and they sent it out, and then TED Talks tweeted out my TED Talk. So my phone has been blowing up, and it's got, and it's got 1,000 comments. That's a lot, 1,000 comments on Facebook. And some of them are lovely and some of them are like, oh, that's a little nasty. Somebody told me to go back to Serbia, where I came from. So yes. So anyways, I'm still kind of dealing with that. Hi, Mimi. So right now for this Instagram live, we're probably going to be short because I can't even form a coherent sentence right now. And I'm going to talk about women supporting women and some of the women that have come into my life recently that I just wanted to give a shout out to. So the first woman, since you're on right now, would be Mimi John. Hello, Mimi John 773. So Mimi first heard me talk at I want to say Innovation Factory in Hamilton. And she came up to me afterwards and she clicked with what I was talking about. And then she reached out on social media and has always been a really genuine supporter of mine on social media. And then she came to my talk last week at Success in the City in Hamilton, which is sort of like the premier networking event for women entrepreneurs in the Hamilton and local area. And Mimi came, she got a ticket, she came, she sat in the front row table, and then at the end of my talk, we were doing a Q&A, and I didn't even mention, the Women's Leadership Conference, that's right, and I didn't even mention my Instagram live thing, and Mimi, raised her hand to ask a question, and she said, actually, this is more of a comment. I love what Maja does. You should all check out her Instagram live, Mondays with Maja. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I forgot. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you so much. And so anyways, I just wanted to give a shout out to Mimi for that. I really appreciate that. And that was super kind. Hi, Jupiter. Jupiter from Hack Swim. Jupiter has a swim company of men's swim trunks. I don't know what the official word for it, but he has a really cool swim company, and that's him, and he's doing his thing. So I also want to tell you about a remarkable woman that I got the chance to meet. Hi, Cassidy. Today, swim briefs, that's it. What did I say? Swim trunks? That's probably old school, so swim briefs. Okay, so I also met a remarkable woman today, and her name is Michelle Light, and she is a stylist, and I first came to know her because this outfit popped up It comes with matching pants. And I was seeing it on Instagram, and I was like, who makes these clothes? I love these clothes. And it's by a female entrepreneur, and her name is Andrea Light, and she has a company called Bespoken Clothing. And I reached out to her, DM'd her, and I was like, I love what you do. I'd love for you to make a few pieces for me. So she designed the clothes that I wore for my talks all last week, and I wanted to just give her a shout out. And so she designed this beautiful lilac suit. It comes with matching pants. And oh my gosh, I have to show you these that I wore for a talk. How cool is this? These are sequins joggers. Come on, look at this. Sequins joggers. What? Yes, so let me just find her on here so you can look her up. She's pretty cool. And then her sister came over, and here, I don't know, can you see that? Michelle Light. Her Instagram handle is Miss Style Light, and she's a phenomenal stylist. And she came over to my house today, and in 2 hours, she styled like 17 outfits for me. She is amazing. And her sister is Bespoken, and I just want to show you that handle because she's also another Bespoken Clothing. I don't know if, can you see that? Bespoken Clothing. And it is another phenomenal female entrepreneur. She makes her own clothes, and her name is Andrea Light. So I just want to give a shout out to them. And, oh, and you looked fab in them. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I want to thank everybody that came out and heard all my talks last week for International Women's Day. It was a phenomenal event. Thank you, everybody who came out for Success in the City. I heard Amber Mack speak. She spoke before I did. She opened the show and I closed the show. Amber Mack, man, did I learn a lot from her talk. Holy crap. I was just like writing notes. Steve and I were both writing notes because she was giving such amazing tips on social media and the apps that you should be using if you want to do videos, and how to make your own videos, and how to add closed captions, and how to do all these amazing things. So I learned a lot from Amber Mack's opening keynote talk. And then I spoke at Innovation Guelph, and that was a phenomenal event. So I met the mayor, and anyways, so thank you for that. Thank you, Innovation Guelph, for everything that you've done. I also met a woman named, I'm going to post a video. Her name is Jill, and she is an entrepreneur. She came up with a tea called Flava Teas, Flava Teas, Flava Teas. And she's really remarkable because she went into every single grocery store trying to get her teas on the shelf, and everybody was rejecting her. But she did not internalize that rejection. She was just like, you know what? I need to make better connections with the grocery store managers, and I need to make better connections and have better conversations with the health store managers. And that's what she did. She was just pounding the pavement, making cold calls, making cold emails, going out there to get her product on the shelf. And she got rejected more often than she got accepted, but she still got her teas on the shelf. And now she's in Freshco, and she's in, what's it called? Happy Planet? Healthy Planet. Now she's in Healthy Planet, which is a huge chain, and Freshco is a huge chain. And it took her a while. I think it took her like a year to get in there, but she did not internalize rejection. And so again, you know, I'm always talking about this, how we oftentimes when we fail once at something because we internalize that failure, and then we don't we let that lead to procrastination and hesitation, and then we start letting that imposter syndrome creep in. And so actually, I've got a workshop if you are interested in delving a little bit deeper into imposter syndrome, fears, and the nice girl syndrome, you know, this sort of disease to please, where we think if we're just nice to everybody, we'll somehow be protected from rejection or from uncomfortable conversations. So I'm doing that workshop in Burlington, and it is the last Sunday in April. It is Sunday, April the 28th, and it is from 11 to 2. It's a 3. Oh, that's you, Crystal. Oh my gosh, Crystal, that's all of us. That is literally all of us, until we learn to have boundaries, and also until we learn that we need to do away with guilt, right? Guilt is this useless emotion that holds us back from moving forward, from advocating for ourselves. So there is a lot of power involved in saying no to others so that you can say yes to yourself. I may have mentioned this before, but the reason, will you do another one? Will I run another workshop? Yeah, we'll run workshops like every other month or so. Every 2 months. And hello, Jennifer. And so we're running it Sunday, April 28th. And then we'll probably run one in the summer again, and then hopefully one in September. So it's a 3-hour workshop. You can look for it on Eventbrite. We literally just posted it today. It's called Why Not Me? Build Your Confidence with Professor Maja. Why not me? Do I know the cost? The cost is $50 for 3 hours. Yes, it's a $50 ticket. And yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll post them. I'll post them on social media and whatnot. And what else? Thank you to Strathroy and the Strathroy Chamber of Commerce for the talk that I did for them on Friday, actual International Women's Day. It was pretty remarkable. Women waited like an hour and a half in line to sign books and to chat with me. And the one thing that keeps coming up again and again and again, along with a recognition of how often we apologize, is feeling like an imposter. And that's why I decided to do the workshop on that, because so many of us struggle. Oh, were you there? Oh, thank you. These are some new, Lily, I feel like I remember Lily. Yes, thank you so much, ladies. Thank you to the Strathroy community who have chimed in here. Like really, really lovely. Whenever I give a talk, I always sort of look for like that friendly face in the audience that's like going like this. Because too many times, oh hi Mimi, too many times if I see people like this, like no, that's not me. I don't have fear. I don't have doubt. I can kind of throw me off my game. Yes, absolutely, Jupiter. Self-promotion to everyone but ourselves. Actually, that's a good point, Jupiter, because the research shows that many of us feel more comfortable promoting the attributes of other people. We feel more comfortable promoting. She was the 14-year-old. Yes. Yes. Lily was the 14-year-old. Is that what you're saying, Sarah? And she was with pink shirts. Yeah. With pink shirts? Were you wearing pink shirts? And so we feel more comfortable highlighting or tooting the horn or bragging about or self-promoting other people before we turn the light on us. And thank you, Mimi. And you are a great hype girl. And we need to sort of get more comfortable with doing that to ourselves. And one of the things that hurts us is that other women can be as harsh on us as we are on ourselves. And so, again, the research shows that women are harder, are tougher on other women. And so women, when they see, if they're, let's say, an employer and they want to hire 2 people and the resumes are identical, women employers are more likely to hire the male resume than the female resume. And it's still that double-edged sword where women, if we present as confident, we are read as cocky, as bragging, as we're too full of ourselves. And so some of the stuff that we're going to dive into in future workshops is, I was telling her all about the talk, and I think Yeah, for sure it'd be a great afternoon. One of the things that I want to dive into is how do we check ourselves? How do we check that internal bias that we have against other people's confidence? When somebody presents as confident, our immediate go-to thought is not, damn, how can I get some of that? How can I know that woman? Or how can I know that person? She sounds amazing. Our first thought is, there's less for me. It's this competition and comparison rather than camaraderie. And that's actually something that I'm going to be speaking about to a high school in Hamilton soon, about how we can get our young girls to be kinder to each other so that we're not tearing each other down. Instead, we are supporting each other, women supporting women. We definitely need more of that. I think we adjust this mindset by recognizing, acknowledging those emotions when they come up, and then unpacking, okay, why did I just feel a wave of jealousy right there? Why did I just feel a wave of envy when someone just told me their success story? Is it because their success is reflecting upon my hesitancy to get out of my comfort zone? Is someone's success reflecting on my internal fears about pushing myself out of my comfort zone and taking a risk and doing something different? Let me tell you about my whole obsession, if you will, with apologies. When I was in that audience hearing those 4 women dismiss their accomplishments and minimize their experiences, and I was sitting in that audience, I felt a tremendous amount of rage that other women have this thing, feminine modesty, right? Where we downplay our achievements. But then I also found it heartbreaking. And I kid you not, from that moment on, I became obsessed with apologies. And everyone I spoke to about this agreed that apologies were a problem, but really pushed back against me making a career out of this. I made a career out of nothing. Like nothing. I teach part-time at the university, which I love, but that's not my full-time gig. This is my full-time gig. And every academic shit on my ideas, sorry Lily, I just swore. Every other researcher dismissed my ideas. Everyone told me I was never going to write a book. It wasn't a good idea. Maybe just write a blog post. You can't make a career out of this. What are you doing? Go for that safe job. And I was like, no, I think I am committed to getting women off the apology train, because I'm committed to giving people the tools to get out of their damn comfort zone and to take action. Because what we often do is we stay in our friggin' minds going over and over and over a mistake that we made from 2 years ago or last week or 10 years ago, and we don't take the next step. I have students who are graduating university. They're maybe 24 years old, 25 years old, and they don't want to do a presentation because in grade 10, they messed up. Because in grade 11, they had a bad experience. And if you can't present your ideas or your product or your service, or you can't articulate something about what you do, where are you? Where are you? Who's taking you seriously if you cannot competently and effectively advocate for yourself? And so I hope everything that I do along with Instagram Live and everything else really boils down to that. I just want to get you taking action. And so I still can't really believe that Ted tweeted out my TED Talk, or that TED Talks, I did believe in myself. And that's the key, Mimi, because I believed with every being in my body. I believed with everything that I had, that I risked my career. I left academia full time. I started a new business. I was making no money. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I had nothing. But I believed in what I was doing so much. And I knew that what I was doing had value and had worth, because after every single talk that I gave, I had a lineup of women who would wait 20 minutes, and now they're waiting like an hour and a half to see me, to talk to me, to get their book signed by me, to say, I thought you were speaking to me in the audience. You were in my head when you were speaking. I have those fears. I over apologize. I'm obsessed with saying yes to other people. I never say yes to myself. I have the imposter syndrome. And after every single one of my talks, I would always have a lineup, even if it was just 4 women and men. Yes, absolutely. No, and men who would say, you know what? I'm not the one that has overconfidence. You're right, Jupiter. And I do struggle with that. But it was people in general that resonated with my message, that I was like, okay, there's something here. There is something here. I could make something happen. I could make a career happen. And for 3 years, I have been talking about apologies since that book first came out. And for 3 years, so many people, hello, interiors, Luscious Interiors. Am I pronouncing that correctly? For years, family, friends, well-meaning people told me this wouldn't happen, told me to give up, told me that just be safe, just get a 9-to-5 teaching job at the university. And now TED Talks believes in me, and they tweeted out my stuff. So anyways, I just feel like you have to be so certain, so unwavering in your conviction that what you are doing is right. You are on the right path. Like Jupiter, you must feel so convinced that you are putting out a phenomenal swimming brief, a phenomenal product for you to keep going, to work that part-time job so you can focus on that. Oh, you're Patty. Hi, Patty. I didn't know. Like, you've got to be so committed to that product, to that idea, to that brand, to that service, to not let the naysayers crap on your idea. And even now, that TED, how they put out my TED Talk on their Facebook page, I have over 1,000 comments, and so many of them are negative. And that's okay. And that's totally okay. You just got into the cotton factory. Congratulations, Jupiter. When you brought up the whole student presentation, are scared such as my, and you don't want to sound smart enough compared to my other peers in poli-sci. Yeah, I think that that's so true, because we feel like there's already somebody in the room who knows more than us, who's a better speaker, who's more well-versed, who's maybe read more than us, who knows more. There's always going to be somebody who knows more, who's better than you, right? Alessandra, and so that's always a fear of ours, why we don't speak up. And I have that fear too. And I just have to push through it. I literally have to tell myself like a positive, self-affirming, non-judgmental, self-compassionate phrase to get me out of my comfort zone, because every single person has value. We all have value. And I want us to get more comfortable in hearing our voices spoken aloud. And that's why I always get my students to do that public speaking exercise in class, because I don't want them to graduate university not having spoken to a crowd of people, not having advocated for an idea that they were passionate about, or telling their personal story. There's value in telling stories, right? People resonate with your stories. So, and also the fear of being challenged in front of a crowd can cause fear. Oh my gosh. Rosalie, is that you? I have that fear all the time of being challenged in a group of people, that someone's going to say to me, have you read the latest article on apologies or confidence by so-and-so? And I won't know. I won't know what it is. Yeah, you agree with that? I get that. I get that to this day. I get that. I'm always at the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, oh my gosh, what if there is? What if? And you know what? This is how I handle it. I fully acknowledge That's a great question. I don't have the answer right now, but I'm going to look into that, and please give me your email address at the end of my talk, and I'm going to email you a more thoughtful response because I really like this question. I think this question deserves a more nuanced response than I'm prepared to give on the spot now. And then I research it, I look it up, and then I email them that. But now I am, like, I always sort of get butterflies. Like, can you imagine, like, I give a talk, there's 350 women, 400, 500 women, and like 20 hands go up and they want to ask a question. And at any given moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, they could ask me anything and I could potentially not know the answer to anything. And it, like 99% of the time, I know the answer to the question because we know more than we think we do. And for the ones that you really don't know the answer to, you can say, I don't know the answer to that. Thank you so much. I'll research that and I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you on that question. I think that there's nothing wrong with that. We're sort of acknowledging that, no, I don't know it all. I don't have it all. I think there was what was it? 2 academic articles come out every minute. There's something like 2 million academic articles that come out a year. Once I heard that number, I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. Because there's no way you can continuously keep up on all this research. So it's okay. It's cool now. If I don't know the answer, I'll look it up and I'll get back to you on that. So, yes. So, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. It's just going to be a short one because Ted threw me for a loop today. TED Talks threw me for a loop. So next week we are definitely going to do, I'll advertise it. Next week we're definitely going to do male allies because there's so many things I want to talk about with male allies. But I'll just leave you with one interesting study that came out. So how can we have the men in our lives be better allies to gender equality? And what we know is you can't just tell young girls, oh, you could be anything you want in life. They need to see themselves represented in positions of power and authority and intelligence everywhere they go. From comic books to movies, to TV shows, to commercials, to children's books, picture books and chapter books. Everywhere they go, women need to see themselves represented. So women of color need to see themselves represented in images and characters of women who are doing great things. And other women need to see the same thing. So if we start from the home, let me tell you about this interesting example or this interesting study from Vancouver coming from a young woman. This is very true. Yes, Lily, yes. And so this Vancouver study showed that if dads did the dishes more and helped out around the house more, daughters, their young daughters, grew up and aspired to more non-traditional feminine jobs. So non-traditional, non-stereotypical jobs. So if you ask a young girl, what do you want to be when you grow up? The usual answer is, stay-at-home mom, a nurse, or a teacher. And I'm a prof. I'm not coming down on teaching. And nurses obviously save lives and we need them. But we are overrepresented in the teaching, social work. Yes, I know. I think, what did it open with? Captain Marvel opened with like $160 million opening with a woman. But you know what, Jupiter? Rotten Tomatoes is mainly written by men. There's a whole thing about how male movie reviewers are more critical of women-led, women-directed movies. So if young girls see their dads doing the dishes and helping out more at home, when asked, what do you want to be when you grow up, they give different answers. I want to open up my own business. I want to be CEO. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be an engineer. So they have completely different ideas of what they could do with their life. And that's just one small area of influence. Because you can tell your daughters and you can tell your young daughters, you can be anything, you can be a leader, you can be the prime minister, you can be anything you want to be. But if all they see is mom vacuuming, doing the dishes, doing the chores, and dad not, dad being the main breadwinner, it changes their idea of where they see themselves being for their careers. So that's just one area of influence for male allies. Next week, we're going to go through, there's like over 100 tips on how we can get men in our lives to be better allies to the women in their family, to their women friends, and to the women colleagues at work. Everything from not interrupting so much, and then we're going to talk about the strategies that women have employed to get heard more often in the office because of the number of interruptions by their male colleagues. So does anybody have any questions before we round this out? Oh, we just have some new people who joined, but we're actually just leaving in a few minutes. Any last questions before we close up? If not, this will be posted hopefully sometime this week onto my YouTube. I think we're a little behind. We didn't post last week's, and but the first 3 Mondays with Maja are up. We have so many topics lined up, so many things to talk about. The nice girl syndrome, male allies, microaggressions. Is your TED Talk from today available yet? Yes, the TED Talk is up. It's on if you Google how apologies kill our confidence, hi Chantel, you will see my TED Talk, how apologies kill our confidence. Hi Chantel. Yes, if you could, hi Irenia. If you could share my TED Talk, I would greatly appreciate that. Yes, Lily, thank you for your support, Lily. And actually, Lily, if you have any specific questions from like young girls, because I'm actually doing a talk for 14 to 18-year-olds, but if you have anything specific, send your questions my way so I can work on something. And if you could share, that would be amazing. We are trying to get my TED Talk put onto TED's not TED's YouTube, TED.com, like on their official website. But it can only go there if it's got like 15,000 views, I think. So anyways, I just hope you take from my example of apologies about how if you are so entrenched in your conviction, if you believe in what you do, if you believe that what you do has value, I just want you to keep going. Forget about the haters, forget about the doubters, forget about the naysayers. Keep going. Forget about people who laugh at you. Forget about people who tell you you can't do it and you won't be a success and your ideas don't matter. Forget about it. Just keep going. Because good things can happen for you. And my TED Talk is spreading, which means more women are going to get off the apology train. And if more women listen to my TED Talk, hopefully more women, when they get complimented on anything, they're going to say thank you, and they're going to own it, and they are going to own their accomplishments, and they're not going to minimize or deflect praise. And that is what I want for all of us. I want us to become more confident, articulate people advocating for what matters to us, right? And telling our stories. So thank you, everybody that joined in today. I know it was shorter and it was all sort of all over the place, but next week will be better. It's going to be male allies. Lots to discuss. Thank you, Lily. If you can send in anything, that'd be awesome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mimi. Thank you, Rosalie. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, awesome. Bye, everybody.